Which scene in a film disturbed you the most? That one scene in Silent Hill where Pyramid Head basically skinned the lady in his grasp. That was fun for 7-year-old me. The Fly, when the lady is having a baby and a giant maggot is born, turns my stomach. This still haunts me. The movie is Saw 2 and it here's the part where the big guy doesn't want to do his challenge, so he throws that girl into a pit of dirty needles. Can you would think of many things that could be worse. There's a scene in a horror/thriller film called Mirrors. The plot is basically there's another dimension in anything reflective, and they're evil for the most part. It's been over a decade since I've seen it, I'm sure. Where a woman looks at her reflection in the mirror before getting in the bath. As she leaves the mirror, her reflection remains there. Couple of minutes later, she's chilling in the bath and the mirror version of her just starts ripping its own jaw open, which in turn forces the woman's jaw open in the bath, and she cannot do anything about it to stop it, and just has to let her jaw get torn to shreds as the bathtub fills with blood. It is brutal. The bit when that guy blinds a kid by pouring burning oil into his eyes in Slumdog Millionaire. In the British nuclear apocalypse movie, Threads, the whole movie after the bombings. Zodiac, when you're stabbing the couple at Lake Berryessa. The lack of any music while hearing their screams is disturbing. In Return to Oz, where the girl is strapped to the table, and when you see all those freestanding heads lining the walls. That movie is one of the most trippy and fucked up movies, and it boggles my mind that it was marketed to children. We Were Soldiers, when they carpet bombed too close and several soldiers caught on fire. Then when they lifted up the guy and his legs peeled. Event Horizon, the hell recording showing terrible things. I don't believe in supernatural stuff, but that scene sticks with me. The movie The Lobster stands out to me. Spoiler/disturbing/suicide warning. The premise, from what I remember, of the movie is society mandates marriage. If you don't marry, you are sent to a hotel, where you have 30 days to meet your spouse. If you don't, you are turned into an animal. First would be, when a depressed lady was introduced, and tries to get with the main character, cause she only had a few days left to partner up. She mentions she might kill herself if she doesn't, but is worried, cause her room is only on the 3rd or 4th floor. A few scenes later the main character is having some serious dialogue with a lady, who is known for being cruel and heartless, whom he is trying to court. The lady from earlier, at this point, jumps out her window, and is visibly bleeding out, and screaming in agony just feet away from the two in dialogue. Because he is acting cruel to impress this other lady, and she is pretty evil to begin with, they completely ignore what just happened. I kid you not, it's like a nearly 2-minute scene of serious dialogue, while this lady is in the background dying in pain. There's a scene from the movie The Road, where the father and his son discover a room full of chained, naked people waiting to be eaten by the cannibals living in the house, and then they run away, and they get chased by the cannibals. That scene really traumatized me when I was young. I remember crying so hard when I watched that movie. Edit, I swear my parents are not bad people lol. I don't remember exactly since it's been like 10 years, but I'm sure if they knew how intense that movie was, they would not have let me watch it. Also I was like 13 to 14, not 8 or something, haha. Spoiler alert for The Thing, 1982. One of the researchers, Norris, gets infected by the extraterrestrial being and had started replicating him from the inside. Dr. Copper attempts to revive him after Norris gets a heart attack, being unaware of the infection. As he is about to use the defibrillator, the extraterrestrial bites his arms off, and Norris' body gets severed into pieces and each part develops legs of its own as the thing tries to replicate his body. Disgusting stuff. In case you are interested, here's a link to the clip. Skip to 112. When Denethor ate the tomato. The eye-sewing shenanigans in Coraline. Oh, probably the scene in Hannibal where Anthony Hopkins cooks the guy's brain and feeds it to him. I believe it was Human Centipede 2. Pregnant woman pretends to be dead, is discarded to the side of the room, waiting for her chance to escape. Goes into labor, obviously can't continue playing dead, screams and runs, is discovered by Centipede Jude. Manages to get herself into a car as baby pops out, lady smashes baby's head under the pedal as she slams the gas pedal down attempting to escape. I don't watch horror movies anymore. There's an 80s/90s horror movie called When a Stranger Calls Back, or The Sparliers. In the movie, the killer is a ventriloquist who can throw his voice. In the end scene, the protagonist is in a room with the killer and can hear him, but she can't see him. He has painted himself to look like the wall. This scene impacted me for many years. As a single woman living alone, I would walk around my house, trailing my hand along the wall to make sure no one had painted themselves to match my wall. The scene in The Mummy where the scarabs crawled under the one guy's skin. I saw it when I was about 8, and it traumatized me. I still have nightmares once in a while about it 20 years later. This was so horrifying to me at the time, because I was so young when I watched it, but the last scene in Cannibal Holocaust where the cannibals assaulted and attacked one of the film crew has just stayed with me since. That scene in Pinocchio where the boy turns into a donkey. In 7, the guy in the sex club recounting what the murderer made him do with a strap-on saw blade. His screaming about what he made him do. The baby scene in Trainspotting. Sorry but Black Swan, when she has skin at the edge of nail, and she pulls it. Fuck. No. The scene in Robocop, when Murphy was murdered. Final scene of The Mist with Thomas Jane. All for nothing. The scene in Hotel Rwanda, where someone is driving over a bumpy road. The person looks down and realizes the bumps are human bodies. It was horrible to know such things happened. Edit. I didn't expect this post to get so much attention. It gives me hope that some people out there were just as affected by the scene as I was. I hope we can all work for a more compassionate tomorrow. The purposely botched electrocution in the Green Mile. To this day I cannot watch even a second of that movie. In Saw 4, one of the traps someone gets caught in is where a machine slowly pulls some women's scalp clean off. I have never wanted long hair ever again. The brave little toaster when the vacuum sucks up his own cord. I will never vacuum over a cord. Edit. Cord. Cord. It's one of those words I'll never get right in context. In one of the later Rambo, I believe 5, where the bad dudes toss mines inside a pond and make the village people run across the pond or face getting shot. That whole movie has scenes of torture that are hard to watch for me. Not necessarily the gruesome of it, but knowing the fact that real people have definitely had a similar treatment before. The last 10 to 15 minutes of Requiem for a Dream. The scene in the original Pet Sematary where the old guy gets his Achilles tendon cut from the little kid under the bed. I always checked under the bed after that. Edit. These comments are a treat. Still pretty new to Reddit. Only recently been active. I absolutely love all the shared trauma we had with this one scene. Made me smile all day, seeing all the comments and upvotes. Thanks for making my day in spite of the Rona lockdown and the smoky air making us have to stay indoors for the past few days. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Stay safe and always check under the bed. Splice when the thing grew a dick and raped its mother. Also when the dad fucked it. Think it is on Netflix, if anyone is interested. I was about 10 or younger I think, when I saw it, so I think that's why it stuck with me, but it's the scene from Pan's Labyrinth, where the dad just bashes some soldier's face in with a wine bottle. Edit. When I say dad I mean the main girl's father, the commander/psychopathic soldier. Looking back it wasn't a soldier's face, but the son of father who were out rabbit hunting. The scene in Fire in the Sky where he yells pinned to table with eyes clamped open and that huge ass needle is coming at him. It was filmed from his perspective. There was this bear scene in Annihilation, where the voices of the dead crew members mutate into the bear's growl. It was really FK and scary. Martyrs, the woman with the steel thing attached to her head still creeps me out. Also the end. God, what a feared up movie. Edit. I'm so thankful others have seen this and agree. It makes me feel like less of an evil person for even sitting through it. Also I'm talking about the original French one, not the remake. The D-Day landing scenes and Saving Private Ryan, especially when they give you some context to the characters in the boat before the landing itself, and as soon as the platform drops they all get shot up to pieces. And then the scene showing the soldier walking around with his blown off arm and all the other soldiers in the other boats blown up and getting caught on fire. It's just a super sad movie, man, and just knowing that people went through horrible experiences like this. Semicolon. Edit/addition. There are so many amazing responses and replies to my comment. I would just like to add that there are so many horrific and saddening stories from the people that had to experience the atrocities of war. I would like to add another movie that really moved me and had me feeling shock and sadness was Hacksaw Ridge, particularly the scene in which Desmond Doss is on the ridge and he sees a squad of Japanese soldiers going around and killing any wounded Americans that they can find. I couldn't imagine the mental toll it had to take on him to witness his brothers in arms paying the ultimate price like that while fighting for his life himself. This is going to be my first/last edit to this comment. I would like for you to all have a great day, and please, if you ever have the opportunity, show some gratitude towards any veteran or currently enlisted soldier. Shaving the leg in cabin fever.